The night air in Savannah felt more like a festival than a ball game. Music thundered, fans danced in their seats, and children clutched foam bananas as they shouted at the top of their lungs. On the field, a pitcher twirled 3 times, hurled the ball between his legs, and the batter laughed even as he missed. Seconds later, a foul ball screamed into the stands. A fan caught it, and the umpire raised his fist. Out! The stadium exploded, strangers high-fiving one another as if they'd witnessed a championship moment. This was no ordinary game. This was banana ball, a rebellion against the traditions of Major League Baseball, a revolution born in a small Georgia town and now shaking the foundation of America's pastime. To understand the magnitude of this moment, you have to go back to where it all began. In 2016, Jesse Cole and his wife Emily took over a struggling minor league team in Savannah. The stands were empty, the finances were dire, and bankruptcy loomed closer with every passing day. They sold their furniture, maxed out their credit cards, and slept on an air mattress just to keep the dream alive. Many would have walked away. Jesse, though, asked a dangerous question. If traditional baseball was failing, why not throw tradition away? Why not rebuild the game from scratch around the one thing fans actually wanted? Joy. That idea became banana ball. The rules were torn up. Games would never last more than 2 hours. Bunts were banned, labeled boring. Walks became sprints, with the batter racing toward first base while the defense scrambled in chaos. Extra innings transformed into one-on-one duels, a pitcher facing a batter with only a single fielder behind him. Even fans were drafted into the action. Catch a foul ball in the stands, and the batter was out. The players leaned into the absurdity, hitting while on stilts, dancing between pitches, breaking into coordinated routines while music blasted through the speakers. It was baseball, but turned into theater, comedy, and carnival all at once. At first, critics dismissed it as a circus. Purists accused Jesse Cole of mocking the game. Local papers sneered, yet families came anyway, and they laughed harder than they had in years. Children who had never once asked to see a baseball game begged their parents for tickets. Social media clips went viral. Pitchers cartwheeling off the mound, batters moonwalking to the plate, entire infields dancing like boy bands in the middle of play. What started as a desperate experiment to survive quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Meanwhile, Major League Baseball stood as the cathedral of the sport, a fortress of tradition and reverence. For more than a century, MLB was untouchable. Babe Ruth, Jackie Robinson, Hank Aaron, Derek Jeter. The legends of the game defined eras of American history. The World Series was once a national holiday. Baseball was called the pastime of the nation. Yet, by the 21st century, cracks were spreading through the cathedral walls. Games dragged on for 3, sometimes 4 hours. Attendance dipped. Television ratings fell. The average age of the MLB fan climbed above 55. While young audiences, raised on video games and short-form entertainment, found the sport unbearably slow. A 2019 matchup between the Red Sox and Yankees nearly reached 5 hours, testing even the loyalty of die-hard fans. Families left before the final inning, children restless and parents exhausted. The contrast could not have been sharper. In Savannah, a 2-hour spectacle left families buzzing with excitement and stories to tell. In MLB stadiums, silence grew heavier with each long pause between pitches. For the Bananas, Every second was packed with energy, surprise, and joy. For MLB, every second seemed to slip further away from the modern world. The Bananas didn't just entertain, they forced MLB to pay attention. In 2023, Major League Baseball introduced a pitch clock to shave time off the game. Defensive shifts were restricted, bases were expanded, small changes, but unmistakably in the direction of what Jesse Cole had championed: respect the fans' time or risk losing them. Though the league would never admit it, the Bananas had embarrassed the empire into adapting. Still, the divide remained. Traditionalists held fast to their belief that baseball's beauty lay in patience, in strategy stretched over 9 innings, in numbers carved into history books. To them, banana ball was a mockery, but to younger fans it was salvation. It wasn't just about the score, it was about the memory, the laughter, the story they could share. Families didn't leave quoting statistics. They left describing the moment a fan made an out, or the time an umpire danced mid-call. The cathedral clung to reverence. The carnival embraced joy. As the Bananas toured the country, selling out stadiums in every city, the movement grew unstoppable. Parents dressed their kids in yellow. Fans arrived in banana costumes, and chants shook the stands before the first pitch was thrown. Every game felt like a rock concert, a comedy show, and a sporting event rolled into one. The players, far from seeing themselves as clowns, embraced their dual roles as athletes and entertainers. They weren't just playing baseball, they were rewriting it. The more popular the Bananas became, the more haunting the question grew for Major League Baseball. What is the purpose of sport? Is it to preserve history at all costs, or to entertain those who fill the seats? Can reverence for tradition justify losing the next generation of fans? The Bananas offered one answer: that the future of the game lay in laughter, immediacy, and chaos embraced. MLB's survival depended on whether it could reconcile its cathedral identity with the carnival at its doorstep. The clash is more than sport. It is cultural, it is generational. It is a reflection of how people consume stories, how they spend their time, how they decide what matters. In the roaring stands of Savannah, fans don't just watch, they participate. In the hallowed stadiums of MLB, fans sit, waiting, reverent but restless. The cathedral holds history, the carnival holds energy. Which one defines the future is still unknown. For Jesse Cole, the answer has always been simple. Dressed in his yellow tuxedo, he calls himself the ringmaster, not the owner. His goal is not to destroy baseball, but to remind people why they loved it in the first place. He believes that if the game cannot make people smile, it cannot survive. The Bananas are his proof. Once bankrupt, now legendary, they have shown that joy can fill a stadium faster than any statistic. As Major League Baseball wrestles with its identity, the Bananas continue to dance, laugh, and sell out every seat they touch. They may never rival the World Series in prestige, but in spirit, they have already won something more powerful: the hearts of a new generation. Children will grow up remembering their first baseball game not by the score, but by the chaos, the music, the moment they felt part of the story. That memory, more than any tradition, may decide the future of the sport. So the battle for baseball's soul continues. On one side, the weight of history and the reverence of tradition. On the other, the roaring carnival of joy that refuses to slow down. Whether the cathedral adapts or the carnival grows into a league of its own, one truth remains: baseball will never be the same again. The lights fade in Savannah, the music quiets, and families walk out into the night, still laughing, still buzzing. They may not remember the score, but they will remember how they felt. And perhaps in the end, that is what baseball was always meant to be,